Hi everybody, it's Judy here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching today's video. And before I jump in, I'd like to remind you to please subscribe if you haven't and give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy these kinds of videos, or if you're enjoying it so far, let me know, or give it a thumbs down depending on how you feel about it. Today I want to do a potting up video of my propagation box. So not that long ago, I did a propagation box update of the cuttings that I put in here several months ago. Was it a few months ago? It was a few months ago now. And today, I wasn't actually planning on doing this video today, but I decided that it was time to get these cuttings potted up into some soil mix that I made here, and get them potted up into these little cups, and finally get them in their final stage, which is this grow box here. And then from there, I'll be waiting for them to get a little bit bigger. Then I'll be listing them up for sale on my shop. So that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. I'm just going to get started, I suppose. And just have a chat to you guys while I'm going on with it. At the point of the creation of this video, my shop is not actually yet live. I'm aiming towards having that happening in next Wednesday, which will be the 11th of August. I think this video isn't going to be coming up until first week of September or something. So I'm incredibly excited about that. I'm very excited about all of that, to be honest. It's very scary. It's actually terrifying thinking about it, because I've never done anything like this before. And so it'll be very interesting to see how it goes. I have no idea how the launch of my shop is going to go. I don't know if anyone's gonna buy anything, but if you have, after I film this video, then thank you so much. You are part of making my dreams come true. Very excited about that. Now, I'm going to be potting up, or trying to pot up, at least 2 cuttings per little pot, so it'll be multi-planted, not just one cutting per pot or per cup, I suppose. This one is a heartleaf philodendron, and this one had some nice decent roots on it too. So whoever's going to be getting that, pretty lucky, because there's a new growth coming through on it as well. This soil mix that I've made here is actually a mix of sphagnum moss, perlite, indoor plant soil mix, and some cocoa peat or cocoa coir, which is the propagation medium that I have in this box. So I'm taking the cuttings like this. This has a nice growth, new growth coming through there, and then taking some of the same medium that I have in the box, and I'm going to pop that on top to backfill the rest of the cup. I didn't actually plan to do this video today, but the reason why I decided to just go ahead and get this done, even though it isn't spring yet, is because this box is actually sitting on a heat mat that I have, that I talked about in a previous video. And this heat mat doesn't have a thermostat or anything on it. And I'm worried that if I leave these cuttings any longer in this box, I'm actually going to cook them. I have no way of measuring what the heat is like, but I've actually already lost a few cuttings from this box. I've had to take a few out because they've actually rotted and just, I think they got stewed or they got burnt or something. So I think it's definitely time to move these cuttings out of this box. And next time that I fill this box up with cuttings and propagations, definitely going to be, ooh, there's a hair there. Don't want to sell that to anyone. That would be mine. And next time I fill up this box, I'm definitely going to be, I don't know, either get a thermostat or something to measure the heat, or place it on something that's a little bit higher up off the heat mat, so that there's still a bit of space between the bottom of the box and the cuttings themselves. Because I live in central Victoria, I'm finding it a little bit difficult to get some suppliers, like plant suppliers. I still need to look into all of that and get all of that sorted. It's all very new and exciting to me, and kind of terrifying, to be honest. But I'm sure I'll get it all sorted sooner or later. And eventually I will have some beautiful plants on my shop, in my store. Look at this cutting. It has 2 growth points, one there and one there. Oh, so cute. These leaves are actually unnecessary. Like, you don't really need a leaf for a cutting. You can grow them straight from nodes. You can just cut the nodes off a vine and just grow it from that. I think that's what they call wet sticks, like growing from wet sticks. But I kind of like to leave the leaf on there so that it looks like there's something attached, and you know where the node is, and you kind of also know what kind of plant you're getting from the node, because the leaf is definitely an indication of what kind of plant you're going to get from it, because the leaf will tell you. Whereas if you just have a node, it's just kind of like luck of the draw kind of thing. Once I put the nodes in the box, I'll forget what's in them, not unless I put them all in separate boxes and then label them all, but that just sounds like a lot of hard work, so I'm gonna leave the leaves on. Oh, that's a bit cute. Look at that new tiny little leaf coming through there. And that one too, new growth point. Heartleaf philodendrons are actually so good when you grow them from cuttings, but I actually struggle with them in pots. I struggle growing them as like large plants. I don't know why. I've had them be happy for a while. Maybe I actually just overwatered the ones that I do have. Just let them dry out, I think. Let them dry all the way out and then water them. The reason why I'm putting them in little plastic cups like this is because I know people will actually like repot them when they get them. So that's why I'm not really trying to put some money out for like nursery pots. I don't know really what else to talk about while I'm doing this. There's not really much else to talk about really. What should I talk about? Things that I'm looking forward to in the spring. Well, for one thing, I'm looking forward to it being warmer. I don't like the winter. My body aches when it's cold and I just really suffer. I have several injuries, like work injuries from previous jobs, from my neck and my shoulder. I think it's repetitive stress on my neck and shoulder from when I used to work in another kitchen. And it flares up every winter whenever and now I'm working back in the kitchen again. So my injuries in my right arm, it's not my left, in my right arm and shoulder are kind of flaring up when it's cold, so I don't really like winter because of that. I still kind of ache in spring and summer, but not as much as I do in the cold. So that's something I'm looking forward to with the spring, is to not ache so much. The other thing with plants is that I'm looking forward to is that they're actually gonna grow quicker. They've actually not stopped growing through all of winter time, which is like amazing for me. This one's got some decent roots and two little brand new leaves there too. How cute. So yeah, most of my plants haven't actually stopped growing through the winter. They've slowed down, that's for sure, but they definitely haven't stopped. Well, a few of them, maybe a few of them have. Can't say all of them for sure, but a lot of them have just kept on throwing out new growth, which is incredible, which probably says a lot, you know, about the environment that I have for them. You just got to give your plants warmth, airflow, humidity, water them in the shower, and they're gonna be really happy. All right, I've run out of things to say, and I think it's gonna be really boring if I just like prattle on about things that I know no one is interested in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoot you guys in a bit closer and just play some music over the top as I repot. Because for me, this is pretty relaxing too, but it's not relaxing when I have to think about things to talk about. And I honestly am talked out today. I suppose I could talk about the care needs of each plant as I'm repotting them. So if you look at these two cuttings here, neither of these have any active roots on them, so those cuttings didn't take. So I'm gonna put them aside and I'm not going to sell them on my shop. But this one here has some decent roots. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And this one has a bit of growth coming through there as well. So I'm gonna put these two together in this one pot. So the care of this silver satin Scindapsus is that they like their soil to dry out between waterings. They like bright indirect light, but they will also tolerate lower light. They like to be fed when they're growing, but they are also very, very slow growers. So be careful not to over fertilize them. Just understand that they are slow growers and they will just take their time. The more light you give them, the higher variegation it will have on those silver leaves. It'll have more silver speckles than that, the higher light you give them. But also understand that there are different varieties of the silver satin that have higher markings on them as well. So if you're putting this in like higher light and it isn't growing out with more variegation, maybe you have a variety that doesn't grow as high variegation as maybe a silvery Anwood, for example. The care of this Scindapsus is very similar to a pothos, but it isn't actually a pothos. It is a Scindapsus, which is a variety of plants all on its own. I think I only have 2 cuttings in this box. I think I took out, so there were these 2 which didn't take, and I think I may have already taken out a couple previously, so I just have one of those available. This is a Devil's Ivy. I'm pretty sure it's a Devil's Ivy. Golden Pothos. I'm gonna pot it together with this one, which actually has 2 decent growth points on it, so essentially you're getting 3 in the pot. That's gonna be a real bargain, whoever gets that one. The care of Golden Pothos is very similar to the Silver Satin, like I just said before. They like their soil to dry out. These ones are much faster growers than the Silver Satin though, so they like to be fed regularly in the growing season. They do like bright indirect light, and they will grow faster and thrive better in bright indirect light, but they will tolerate lower light as well. And the same kind of goes for this Neon Pothos as well. It's very, very similar, or pretty much exactly the same in care as the Golden Pothos. I think I only really have 3 of these cuttings in the box, so what I'm gonna do is just pop the 3 of them in one pot instead of having 2 in one. I'd rather have 3 cuttings in one pot and only sell 1, because I don't want to sell pots that only have 1 plant in them. I want to make sure that my pots or my plants are at least double or triple planted. I won't sell pots that only have 1 plant in them, or well, from my cuttings. You might get plants that I buy from suppliers and resell on my shop that will have 1 plant in them, but when it comes to the plants that I sell, I want to have at least double or triple cuttings within the cup. So what have I got next? I have a Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, which actually has 3 nodes here, 1, 2, 3. But I'm going to put all these together in the one pot. So because it's like really long and it won't actually fit in the cup, I'm just gonna cut it between the nodes. Cut that there, cut that bit off. And that gives me 3 growth points. There's 1, 2, and 3. So pot those 3 into the cup. The care of the Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma is also very, very easy. Now these plants, you can actually grow them up a pole, and the higher up they grow, the leaves actually get bigger. It's the same for the pothos. They'll grow bigger the higher that they grow up. It's just kind of the way that they grow in the wild. So if you want your plants to thrive very much, definitely just try and recreate the nature from whence they originally came from. This Rhaphidophora is from that mother plant that you've seen in my previous videos, and it's got very good genes in this plant. So that will definitely grow really happily and healthily for whoever gets it. I think I've got another 2 Rhaphidophoras here. This is a cutting that didn't take, so I'm not gonna pop that in. And this one, I've got an odd number of cuttings here. So this one I'm not going to sell. I'm just gonna pop that straight back into the pot with my mother plant. So I'll just put that one aside. All right, here I have a Hoya australis, and it's got a beautiful little growth point coming through there. Can you see that right there? Isn't that so cute? So let me find another one and we shall pot that together. Look at this. This is such a prolific grower in this box. This is all new. This little bit here, that's all new growth since popping it in this propagation box. So whoever's getting this one is definitely going to be a happy chappy. My recommendation with these little plants, once you get them, is maybe keep them in a nice warm humid space. Don't repot them straight away. Give them some time to acclimate to their new home. Give them lots of light and warmth. Maybe to start out with, you can put them in a box or in a Ziploc bag, like a big enough Ziploc bag, and just put them in a warm place until they establish even more. So that one's gonna grow pretty epic. Look at that, so beautiful. Did I get any more? Oh, I've got another heartleaf philodendron here. I've got lots of little random cuttings in this box. I don't even know what this is. I think this is a Devil's Ivy. These 2. Oh, I think these might actually be random nodes that I popped into the box. I think it's actually a Marble Queen. So with this, I've got several cuttings in that one, but I don't think I actually got enough to do multiple cups. Let's see. All right, so there's 2 there, 3. So I'll put that in 1 cup. And then this one, I'll cut between the nodes. I think I'll pop these 4 together and these 3 together. So it looks like there's one stem, but there's 3 activated nodes there. 1, 2, and 3. I'm actually gonna cut this one up because it's too long. So 1, 2, 3. This is they have small leaves, but the nodes are healthy and thriving. And there's one big leaf there. Tuck those big roots in. Wow, this one's going crazy. Here's an example of a leaf that I think got too warm. So it's strange because there's roots growing out from the stem there, but I really don't think that those roots are going to become a plant. It doesn't have a viable node on it. So I'm not going to plant that into a cup. That one, however, is a node and it's got a bit of growth coming through there. And there is another one there as well. So those 2 are going in a cup. Here we have some golden pothos. Ooh, there's some decent roots coming through on that one. So I'm pretty sure it's 1 cutting, but it's got like 3 nodes on there. Let's see if I can find another one. That's one that's come off its node, and I don't know where the node is. That's got some decent roots coming through. All right, so the experiment I did with the Sansevieria didn't really work out. Here are those cuttings. I don't know, maybe I should have propagated them in water or what the go with that one was. But they're not actually rotting or dying, so I don't know what happened with those. They just have no signs of growth. But I don't actually want to throw them out because they haven't actually died or anything. So I'm just gonna pop them into a cup and see if that continues to do anything. Maybe they just take a bit longer than others to sprout little babies. I don't know. There we go. See if that one does anything. All right, so here I've got a little random string of turtles that broke off my main string of turtles once, and I just popped it in this box to see what would happen. And it's actually started to form some little roots. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to actually lay it on the surface of this little cup here and pop it back in a box and see if that continues to do anything. All right, here I have another heartleaf philodendron. I'm just gonna cut it between those nodes. Just gonna pop those 2 in together. All right, next I have a Monstera adansonii. There's only 1 cutting there. I'm pretty sure I took more than 1 because I always take more than 1. But there's just 1 random one growing in here. I think I may have lost all the other cuttings. They either went like mushy or died. So I'm not gonna put that in a cup or sell that. I'm just gonna plant that one straight back into my mother pot and just let that one keep living its life with its mother. What else have I got here? This one is a red vein maranta. The leaves have gone kind of faded in this box. I don't think it responded very well to that heat map. And I cut more than 2, I'm pretty sure, but I only have 2 remaining. And I don't know how those are gonna go. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on these ones and see how these go before I actually sell them. Because I wanna make sure that I am only selling healthy plants with good roots. And this one isn't it yet, but I do want to pot it up because I don't want to leave like little random cuttings in this box. We'll see how that one goes. All right, here we have some Pixie Syngonium. Ooh, that one's quite stuck in there. It's got some decent roots. Look at that, decent, very nice. So I think I only have, oh no, I've got 4. I've got enough for 2 cups. So I'll put that in 1 cup and these 2 in another cup. But look at how cute, look at that cute little leaf. That one coming through, how adorable. This one's got a new leaf coming through there as well. Can you see that? So cute. And this one too. Need to plant that one a little bit deeper because it's got some decent roots coming through. All right, here I have some Hoya carnosa. That's one there. It's another one there. So I got a few cuttings from this one. This one's got some decent roots coming through. So what I'm gonna do is pop these 2 together. And then this one decent one here with another new growth coming through there. That can go in that one with the little with a little one. Oh, I've got another random cutting here of a heartleaf philodendron. It's quite unruly and I don't really know what to do with it. I'm gonna pop it into a cup, but I'm not gonna sell it. I kind of want to just see what that's gonna do, and if it gets bigger, I'll keep it. We're now coming to this Hoya pubicalyx, and it's so interesting because all along the stem it's grown aerial roots. So I don't really know like what to do with it. I've got two cuttings here. I'll just pot them together and just leave that one exposed out of the soil, I guess. And then lastly, I've got one left here. This is a spider plant. I actually want to pot this one back into my original mother plant. So I'll just go grab that one and pop that one in. All right, here's my original plant that I cut that one from. I want to plant those babies into this space here because it's a bit bald. So I'm just gonna take off some dead leaves there and kind of loosen up that soil. Take those babies, those cute little spider plant babies, and fill in that space there. Don't want to damage those roots by pressing them in too hard. So what I'm going to do is just take a bit of this soil mix and pop them on top so they are covered and they can continue to grow. There we go. They can continue their own little growth journey. Look at that, it looks a little bit more full now. Much better. Oh, while I'm potting, I may as well pot up this little glass of string of hearts that I propagated way back when, because they've already got some roots and I thought I just may as well pot it up, you know? So it's a bit unruly. There's kind of no bottom side for this. So I'm just going to twist it round and just like let it sit at the top of the cup like that. Put a bit of soil on top and just let that continue to take root. I'm gonna pop it in another propagation box that I've got all of these little cup seedlings in, and that's it. Well, I've got those little random cuttings that I can't put in pots to resell. So this one here was a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I'm just gonna take them out of the box so I can put the box away. I am going to reuse that soil so I'm not wasting it. And I also don't want to waste those cuttings, but I don't know if this cutting is gonna take. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take that leaf off and pop the node into this pot. And if it takes, it takes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It'll just decompose and return to the soil. Now I had this Adansonii cutting, which also, like I had just one random one in the box, which didn't really do so well. So I'm gonna pop that one back into my mother Adansonii. Which is this one here, which is doing really well. Look at those leaves, stunning. So, just gonna find a little bald spot on the top of that pot, loosen up that soil, and that little cutting can go right in there. Pop a bit of soil on top of that, and it can continue to live its little life in that pot. And what else? Oh, I had another Rhaphidophora there. Pop that one into the other one. Had that other cutting that I missed, but it's quite viable. The bottom of the stem kind of rotted there because of all the heat in the heat mat, so I didn't really want to sell that one, but it does have a new growth point coming through there, which seems to be quite happy. But I'm just gonna pop it into here to add to the fullness of my plant. There we go. Probably can't tell much of a difference, but when it gets bigger, you will be. And again, these two little cuttings of the silver satin, I still don't know what happened to them or if they are gonna take, but I hate wasting things. So I am going to pop them into a cup anyway, but just not sell them until I know whether or not that they are going to grow. Just pop them in that cup and put them in another propagation box with all the rest of the other little new seedling planties that I've made. And then pop a lid on that, put that on the heat mat, and continue to let them thrive and grow. So that's the plantation journey that I have walked today. Thank you for watching my repot with me video. It was probably like super boring. Let me know if you guys enjoy these kinds of videos, and if you don't, I won't do them again. I suppose if anything, if you did get anything good from this video, it's that maybe it motivated you to do a little bit of plant chores yourself. It's really good. I can fit 4 cups in a row, which is awesome. But I'm still not gonna have enough space in this box for all the cups. Whoops. I might just take out the ones that I'm not going to sell, the ones that I just potted out just because. And the ones that I am gonna sell, I'll leave them in this box. Ah, they fit almost perfectly. These little baby ones were kind of the duds, the ones that I don't know if they're gonna grow or not, so they can stay out, and I'll put them in a separate box and just keep these babies for me. Well, that's it for this video. It was probably like really super boring. I know I didn't have very much to talk about, and I'm not really feeling very entertaining. See, I can't even think of the word. Entertaining. I don't feel very entertaining today. But I did want to get these potting up jobs done, and finally got them out of the propagation box. I am going to create another propagation box, but not yet. I will soon, but not yet. And in the meantime, I'm gonna let these little babies grow, and soon you will see them up for sale on my shop. If you haven't yet checked out my online shop, you can check it out in the description box down below. It's www.thatfoliagelife.com, and I've got some beautiful pots up for sale, some plant books, and a few other goodies there too. So you can go check that out if you haven't. Thank you guys for watching. Please like the video if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye. You are part of